Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM, we welcome you. Also, those joining us through our online affiliates around the world, we're glad to have all of you with us as well. I'm excited to welcome Andy W. Shepard to our program today. Andy is not only a breakthrough coach, but an individual who's been able to use his public platform to be able to help to motivate and inspire others. He's also a motivational speaker. We're going to talk to him about that, as well as how he uses the airwaves to be able to connect with audiences and to help them along the way as well. If you're just not hearing about Andy, we'll tell you at the end of our segment how you can stay connected with him. But Andy, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Hi there, Cyrus. How are you doing? Great to be on the show.
Oh, the pleasure's definitely all mine, Andy. I'm so glad that you could be with us, and I think the timing is perfect. So many people, as we are kind of wrapping up this year and preparing for the new year, they're thinking about what they didn't get done this year and what they'd like to do when it comes to themselves and, of course, their lives moving forward. You've been able to help people to do this on a daily basis now, Andy. I mean, what has it been like for you as you've been able to learn and grow for yourself to be able to help other people to learn and grow as well?
It's an absolute joy. I mean, I've always been serving ever since I was very, very young. I remember staying up until all hours in the morning, helping people with their relationship problems. But really, I was just like a shoulder to cry on. At that point, I didn't have any tools. And through lots of inner development and studying and eventually, getting certification from people like Tony Robbins, I'm now able to be very effective in my help with people, and I realize that, my life is about serving, and so instead of the greatest joy we can get is instead of focusing on ourselves and our own things like buying ourselves things and making ourselves happy, the greatest joy is when we can give to somebody else and see them light up and see their joy. This gives a different type of happiness, and so when I'm making life-changing moves with people, sessions. I have life-changing sessions in coaching, and literally it completely changes things that people have been dealing with all of their lives, and brings me to tears, brings me so much joy. I feel very honored to have this gift.
Right. I want to talk more about the gift, Andy, because I think there are so many people out there who have a gift that, quite frankly, they don't give themselves credit for, because it's so easy for us, especially in the world that we're in today, to think about the things that are wrong with us, or seemingly so, than the things that are right. What has it been like for you to be able to embrace the gift, Andy? I mean, as you said, this is something that's been with you for quite some time, but when did you really start to fully embrace it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to mention Tony Robbins a few times. I should really be talking more about myself, but he's been my mentor and made big shifts with me. And I heard him say in one of I studied him extensively, and one of the things that he said was, that he is here to serve. And I took that on board, and at that point, everything completely changed. Because most of the time, we're just doing everything selfishly, for ourselves. And when we do, and that doesn't mean that, if you're doing stuff for others, that you can't do things for yourself as well. And that's when everything changed for me. That was the turning point.
Yeah, well, I think it's perfectly right for you. If Tony Robbins was such an influential force in your life, I think that it's great that you're able to recognize him for that. Andy, have you gotten used to the idea now, though, that you are an inspirational force for other people, that they refer to you as they're talking about how they were able to get that breakthrough and make those changes?
Absolutely. I mean, it gives me no end of joy when many of my clients or people who follow me and listen to my YouTube channel or whatever videos I'm putting on Facebook, etc. When they're in a tight spot, they literally say, "What would Andy do in this situation?" And that gives me great joy. And going back to a further point that you just made about, we all have this unique gift inside all of us. And it just lights me up with joy when a person recognizes that, and often through the work I'm doing, then that comes out. And we have, there's many reasons, but we can just hide it, or we just don't acknowledge it. We have a kind of a fear of showing this almost vulnerable part of ourselves to the world, and so it just gets hidden. Every person on this planet has got a completely amazing, brilliant talent, their unique ability, and it's just about finding that and living it. This is so important.
Yeah, for sure. And I want to talk more about the platforms that you use. Andy, I want to say for those who are just tuning in, he's on the radio side or online. You're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Andy W. Shepard to our program today. Andy is not only a breakthrough coach, but also a motivational speaker and an individual who's been able to use the media outlets that are out there, especially when it comes to social media, to be able to reach his audience. One of the things I did when I was prepping for your segment, Andy, I watched a video that you did back in August of 2016, and that is on YouTube, and the topic was an interesting one because I think, again, it ties into what I think our audience is looking at as they wrap up this year, and the topic was, what is really holding you back? I mean, one of the things that you've done, even on your website, and we'll give that out a little bit later, you talked about, you know about this firsthand, about what it's like for you to be able to hold yourself back. Walk us, our audience, through, Andy, how you got to a place where you were able to free yourself and how that freedom has now helped you to be able to do the same thing for others.
Okay, well, I mean, this is basically a process, and for some of us it doesn't happen overnight. But, part of it is just conscious, going for a walk and just thinking about the things that we love and the things that we love doing. And, then, a good process is just to kind of write it down and just, write down the list and then highlight the things that are the top. Maybe the top 3 that you love, and then hone it down to one. And something should shine out of the paper. But for some of us, we know it already. Maybe it's because we have a passion for music. Maybe it's because we have a passion for helping people. And so it kind of goes through there. So there's different ways to get there. When I'm coaching people, then it's an easier process because I'm listening I like to do things on the phone rather than, using video, because I'm just focused only on the voice. And I can hear by, the energy of how they're speaking and the way that they're talking. And it's very easy to start, honing in on what their passion is.
Yeah. I want to stick with YouTube for a moment, Andy, because there you have AWS TV, appropriately using your initials there. What led you to that platform to be able to use? Because one of the things that people will find, and we definitely want to invite our audience to be able to subscribe to Andy's channel there. I did it myself today. One of the things you have there, Andy, is a series of videos on how to create your best year ever. What is it that led you to YouTube to be able to use that platform?
Right. Okay. Great question. Yeah. I got some friends that I'd actually met. Well, a specific friend that I met, Brian G. Johnson, and he was speaking, at the same events as I was. So, we followed each other. He started using YouTube a lot. And YouTube is just such an amazing platform, Facebook as well. I mean, to me it's mind-blowing that I've got, like in my mobile phone, my cell phone, I've got a 4K video camera in there, and I'm able to have my own broadcasting studio. So, all of this is for free. We can instead of like a normal terrestrial, we can go out to the whole world. There's millions and billions of people out there that we can connect with, and the whole thing is free. It's just mind-blowing. And YouTube was a place where if you put things on Facebook, then things are going to get lost in your thread. The great thing is that what I learned from what Brian G. Johnson was doing, he created something called Tube Ritual, was, I was able to start creating playlists and so on. I've now moved, and I've got another channel which is called Transformational Entrepreneur TV, which is a new direction that I'm going in, which is using all of my skills as an entrepreneur, as working in a mother's mom and pop business in a restaurant to working in corporate with a big computer company called DEC, to then owning my own business, which I created from zero, to being highly popular and having almost 300 students as an English language school in Brazil, to now being a solopreneur here in America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one of the things we've talked about a lot on this show this year, Andy, because I think it is such a relative thing, and I think our audience will definitely have to figure out for themselves what it means for them, and that is success. I mean, when you kind of look at the different avenues that you've been able to use, the different ways you've been able to touch your audience, how has your idea of personal success evolved along this journey for you, Andy?
That is another awesome question. I love it. Yeah, it's interesting because I think that most people's success, we're kind of almost taught somehow from media, from school, from our peers, from probably our parents, that success is to do with material goods, success is to do with money. So if we've got millions in the bank account and we've got a big house and we've got a Porsche or a Ferrari outside, you know, and all the trimmings of that, then we're successful. Well, to me, that's not what success is. I've been very fortunate to go and live in what we refer to as a third world country in Brazil. And to me, it's a first world country because they put happiness as first and friendship first. And I realized that these people, my friends, were many of them. They would have a very, very poor house, nothing special. They just have like one TV. It wasn't the state of the art, but they were happy. They got a TV. They would share everything. You would go there with your friends, and whatever they got, they'd share with you. And to me, and that was success. The success was that you were happy with what you had. It doesn't mean that you don't strive for other things, but I think, you know, success is to be doing the things that you want to and to be happy with what you've got. And, you know, a lot of people are successful. They've got all, in inverted commas, they've got all the money, they've got the fancy car, they've got the fancy house, but they're not happy because all the time they're driving for the next thing and they're never content. So where's the happiness? Where's the success in that?
Right. And I think that is the big thing, and I think for our audience, that's definitely something they have to be able to discover. You know, I had another interesting guest that came on this platform, and that's why I love doing this show, Andy, because I learned so much from guests like yourself and others. And I had a motivational speaker and also a fitness coach who came on the show. He lives in Los Angeles, and one of the things he said that he talks to his clients about, whether he's working with them, you know, in their transformation or, you know, in their physical fitness, is about their why. Why are they doing what they're doing? What is the goal? Is that one of the things that you also share with people, the importance of recognizing the person they want to be or what it is that they hope to get from being able to come to you and to doing the work with you?
Absolutely. I mean, the question why is the most important question that ever exists. If you know your why, then, you know, you've really got it. And, you know, we need to always look at our motivation for everything. And, you know, regarding what makes us successful, then it's about, you know, to me it's about doing the things that you love. I mean, if you love playing the guitar or the piano, you need to find time to do that. If you love painting, you need to find time to do that. But yes, you know, a lot of people, for example, the why is a great question. For example, why do you have the job that you have at the moment? And, right. You know, the answer should be because I absolutely love what I'm doing. You know, when I get out of bed, I leap out of bed. I'm going, yes, another day where I can follow my passion. What a great day today is. Instead of getting up and going, oh, my goodness, you know, my why is just that I need to pay the mortgage and pay my taxes. That sucks.
Right.
Not a very good why.
Exactly.
And it is an important component. Yes, we do need to pay our bills. Yes, we do need to pay our taxes, of course. But there needs to be another why, a bigger why.
Sure. Could you have imagined, Andy, that your own personal happiness would be so connected to those that you've been able to bring happiness to?
There was a time then, no. I was so wrapped up in my own happiness and couldn't understand that, when I did have it all, when I could buy a Mercedes, when I did have my own house, when I did have Pierre Cardin suits and silk ties. This is my days when I was working in corporate, and, I was this amazing computer repair engineer who could do anything and making tons of money. I wasn't happy. Because it was all about me. I didn't care about anybody else. Well, I always cared, but not enough. And wow, what a beautiful thing I learned, and from a lot of meditation that I did, I studied Buddhism a lot because that works a lot with the mind, which I find very interesting. And also being in Brazil, and these just really showed me, that treating other people well is great. And my mother as well, because that's what she did with her restaurant, and that's where Transformational Entrepreneur all came from, because in her restaurant, it was all about, people come to a joyful setting. They come to work, and they enjoy what they're doing.
Right. I think that's the great thing. We're about to let our audience know how they can stay connected with you. Andy, one of the challenges I have faced for myself, and I have been open with my audience about this, is I try my best to stay in the present and to enjoy the moment and enjoy conversations like this, but I think that pesky human nature sometimes has me already looking ahead to what's next. How do you balance it? How do you balance enjoying where you are, but also still setting goals for yourself moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely we need to be in the moment, and it's like looking backwards is not a good idea. There are times where we need to briefly look backwards and learn from it, but being in the moment and enjoying what we have now. And if we're not enjoying it, and then saying, well, how can this be enjoyable? It's like if we're doing something, I've got as a goal-setting course that I've got, and it's all about, well, how can I do this and have fun doing it? And this is just, right. If you're asking, the quality of your questions equals the quality of your life. So, we need to ask good questions. How can I do this and enjoy it? And future is just about, I think we need to plan for the future. We definitely need to have a direction, but write it all down and just keep a few of them in mind constantly. Maybe put a sticker on your wall or something with them on, and just keep referring. Am I heading in that direction? But if your list is too big, you're not going to achieve it. But definitely live in the moment and enjoy what you're doing, and don't compare where you are now to where you want to be, and be sad about it. Yeah, go for it. Say, I'm committed to doing it. But, the worst thing is to be unhappy where you are now and saying, this is miserable. Just say, okay, this is where I am at the moment, but I can still be happy. And one day, this is it, go in the joy of, eventually, I know that I will get where I'm going, and just have that joy. This is a very positive force, and this will guide you to it very rapidly. It's kind of a secret of the universe.
Yeah. What a powerful thing, and what a great conversation with you, Andy. Again, everyone, Andy W. Shepard has been our guest. He's not only a breakthrough coach, of course, a motivational speaker and a strategist, but an individual who's been able to make the changes in his own life to be able to become the person that he wanted to be, and is now able to help other people to do the same things. He's able to do it through his coaching. We're about to let you all know how you can stay connected with Andy, but also through using the platform that is social media as well. So, Andy, let our audience know, where's the best place for them to go to find you and to be able to connect with you when it comes to your coaching as well?
Great. Probably the easiest is to go to my website, andythecoach.com, and that will automatically redirect you to shepherdcoaching.com. So, yeah, andythecoach.com, and then you'll find every different way of connecting with me there.
Okay. Well, Andy, congratulations to you on the great work that you've been able to do. I really appreciate the time, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
The pleasure is definitely all mine. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. I want to thank our good friend Steve Joyner for setting up this conversation with us for today. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late and missed part of the conversation with Andy, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media site, so head over to facebook.com/CyrusWebb or go to twitter.com/CyrusWebb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share it with your friends from there, too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. You all make it a great one.